Before there was Canada, there was land, untamed, wild, and magnificent. But this land was never empty. Long before European ships touched its shores, this territory was home to complex civilizations, diverse languages, and deeply rooted cultures. This is the story before the flag. This is BON HISTOIRE. The land we now call Canada was shaped over millions of years. The Canadian Shield, one of the oldest geological formations on Earth, formed nearly 4 billion years ago. This hard, ancient rock, covering much of central and eastern Canada, forms the backbone of the country's landscape. The Ice Age, which ended around 12,000 years ago, carved the land into what we see today: scattered lakes, vast plains, and jagged mountains. As the ice receded, life returned, and so did people. Most historians agree that the first peoples arrived in what is now Canada between 15,000 and 20,000 years ago, crossing the land bridge from Siberia to Alaska, known as Beringia. They spread across the continent, adapting to forests, plains, and Arctic tundra. These weren't just scattered bands of hunters. By the time Europeans arrived, Canada was home to over 600 distinct Indigenous nations, each with its own language, culture, and governance. Among the most notable, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, or Iroquois League in the east, the Mi'kmaq and Maliseet in the Atlantic regions, the Anishinaabe, including the Ojibwe, in the Great Lakes region, the Blackfoot Confederacy of the Prairies, the Dene and Inuit peoples of the north, and the Coast Salish, Haida, and Tlingit peoples of the Pacific Northwest. Their knowledge of the land was unmatched. They built complex trade networks, political alliances, and spiritual traditions tied to the seasons, animals, and skies. The Huron-Wendat built fortified towns with populations in the thousands. The Mississaugas practiced advanced agriculture, cultivating corn, beans, and squash, known as the Three Sisters. In the west, the Nuu-chah-nulth hunted whales using intricate knowledge of tides and coastal patterns. Far from primitive, these societies were engineers, astronomers, diplomats, and philosophers. Oral traditions passed down for centuries carried laws, history, and science without written words. Long before Columbus, and even before Champlain, there were the Norse. Around 1000 AD, Leif Erikson, son of Eric the Red, sailed from Greenland and landed on the coast of what is today Newfoundland. The site known as L'Anse aux Meadows is the only confirmed Norse settlement in North America, and now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Though short-lived, the Norse presence proves that European contact with North America predates Columbus by nearly 500 years. In 1497, Italian navigator John Cabot, sailing under the English flag, reached the coast of Newfoundland. He reported waters swarming with fish, what would later be known as the Grand Banks. Europe's gaze was now fixed on the New World. While the arrival of Europeans brought irreversible change, disease, war, colonization, the first peoples of Canada endured. Their contributions to language, survival techniques, governance, and culture are foundational to the story of Canada. Today, treaties, reconciliation efforts, and cultural revival aim to honor this deep legacy. But to understand Canada, one must begin not in 1867, but 15,000 years earlier. This land tells stories older than any border, any colony, any crown. And in our next episode, we begin the journey of contact, conflict, and colonization with the arrival of Jacques Cartier in 1534. The Age of Discovery begins. This is Bon Histoire,